Hello. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi.
Welcome again. Hi, nice to see everybody again. I can't see you, but I know you're there. Oh, boy.
We feel your presence.
We
We
feel
know
your
you're here.
presence.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. We've got another tutorial for you today, and we'll also answer any questions you have. I'm Amber. I will be answering your questions and looking through them on the comments. And this is Jené. She is going to be leading us through the tutorial.
Yes.
Before we get started, feel free to go ahead and give us where you're watching from, because we always think that's very fun and
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
So please tell us where you're watching from if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
We already have one. Hillary from Pennsylvania. Awesome.
Cool.
Also, I am dressed a little unusually just because I did a TikTok for Bésame earlier. So if you want to see why this is happening, then you can check us out on TikTok now, and my video will be there in a few days.
Hey, there you go. Yeah.
Just a fun thing.
If you've jumped on the TikTok bandwagon, so have we. So it's just
Yeah.
Bésame Cosmetics on TikTok. Should be super easy to find us. And
Yeah.
we're posting little fun things every couple of days. So hopefully it's
Yeah.
fun for you.
It's cute. So thank you guys enough. Oh, we already have from Canada, from Pennsylvania, England, Northampton, Michigan, Montreal. Fancy. Thank you guys so
Cool.
much.
Wow, I
And
love
again,
it.
feel free to ask stuff at any point during our tutorial. And if it takes a little bit to get back to you, that's just so we can see Jené, getting down to it. So we appreciate your patience, but we will definitely. We already have a couple. Love those T-shirts. Thank you. These are
These
Team
shirts?
Bésame.
Ah, you mean these
What?
Bésame, Team Bésame shirts? Wow, can't believe you even noticed that Amber and I are wearing the same shirt
Oh,
today. How funny.
how
I
funny.
wonder what that means. Could it mean?
These shirts just might be available in the next few days. So just be aware. We'll be sending emails, posting, la la la.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're interested, you can get one yourself. But not just yet. These are a fun sneak preview
Yes.
of the
So get
shirts.
excited. They're super
Hello
comfy.
from Ireland also. Hi, Gilly Bean,
Wow.
so cute. Awesome.
What
Virginia,
time is it
wonderful.
in the over in Ireland and England right now? You said we have someone from England and someone from Ireland
Yes, it
watching.
should. I think it's
It's
about
late,
9
right?
9 p.m. I think.
Wow, thank you
But
for
they
tuning in
they
late at
could let
night.
us know better. I know, our little late night tutorial just before bed.
So fun.
So what are we going to be, or what are you going to be showing us today,
So today
Jené?
we are going to be talking all about powder. So Bésame has lots of different powders, but the two main categories of powders that we have would be our cashmere powders that look like this. And then we also have brightening powders. We have like vanilla brightening powder. We have vanilla rose brightening powder. And we have violet brightening powder. We have so they do different things, but they're all powders. And so today I'm going to be showing you how to utilize them all in one look on one face using a fun technique called baking. Now, during this
Ooh.
quarantine time, we're probably all doing a lot of baking. It appears. I personally have been doing a lot of baking. I've been baking breads, baking cakes. The other night at like 10 o'clock at night, I was like, I want some brownies, and I just whipped up some brownies because why not?
Oh, yeah.
Um, but this is a different kind of baking. This is baking your makeup. Maybe you've heard of this trend before. It's been around for a little bit, like this terminology. It's just, and I'll show you more. I'll show you how to do it. It refers to letting your makeup bake in on your face as you leave it there. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what that does as we go along. But to start out today, I am pretty fresh faced. I did my eyebrows and I put on a little concealer just on some spots because, to be honest with you all, just getting real, I have been having breakouts lately and it's been so annoying. I don't know what it is, but I kind of realized that a lot of them are happening in my mask area, which is funny because typically when we say mask, we mean like this, the T-zone kind of area. But I
Uh-huh.
mean mask like the mask you wear when you go outside to be around other people.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
because I've been doing that and it gets a little warm and damp in there, the longer that you wear I think I'm starting to get breakouts just in that area, which is really annoying. But Thankfully, these powders are pretty full coverage. The cashmere powders, the brightening powders are translucent, but they still do help with color correcting. So that also helps. So if you have blemishes, if you have any skin pigmentation, redness, like anything like that, these are going to help color correct, balance the skin tone, and take care of this issue if you're having this issue as well. But of course, the number one step to having beautiful skin, I think, is keeping a really good skincare regimen. So stay on top of that. Always, always, cleanse and moisturize. And so to get started today, you especially want to make sure that your face is moisturized. So I've done that. I used my moisturizer, and then I also used a primer, like just a matte finish primer to help with the makeup. So that would be the first step. And then I also, like I said, I used a little bit of concealer just on some of my blemishes that I have, just to get started with. And so then the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to use my concealer for my under eyes, because that is the main area where we're going to be doing our powder baking today. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply that underneath. Now, Bésame does not have concealer, but just use any, there was a little like gnat
Oh,
on
no.
me.
Oh.
Our window's open, so
Yeah.
a little friend got in. Wants to
It
join
is.
our tutorial.
It's little bug season here in
It is.
California
It is.
already.
Oh, man.
That's all
Anyway,
right.
so whatever your favorite concealer is, go for that. And I'm just going to start by applying this directly under my eyes, right on those dark circles that I absolutely have, because I do things like stay up till 10 o'clock and bake brownies, like I mentioned earlier.
I know. I think everybody's sleep schedule is a little, it's creative. It's a creative sleep schedule. I think
That's
a
a
lot of
really
us have
nice
during
way to put it.
quarantine.
Yeah.
Hippo Me asked, "What's the weirdest thing you've done during quarantine?" Which seems
That's
an
such a great
appropriate
question.
question now.
Yeah.
I haven't done too. I'm trying to think of what's other than like crave candy at all times. Usually I crave candy like half the time, and now it's just been like, can I just eat candy instead of food? That's
Have
been
you
like my
indulged?
brains.
That's my question. Have you indulged in your cravings? Do you have candy in your house, or are you like being good about it?
I have a little bit of candy in the house before Easter. Before Easter, there was a lot more mini Cadbury eggs being eaten than needed to be, for sure. So it's been half and half. But
Oh
yeah, it is
man.
like I think ice cream. What if I just drink ice cream instead of water? Like
Yes.
those kind of thoughts have been
Okay,
going through my
Amber, me
mind.
too. It was really warm last night, and
Yeah.
I'm so ashamed to admit this, but I ate ice cream for dinner. I admit chocolate chip ice cream for dinner. I did it. This is not a
That's
habit,
okay.
but I did do that last night. So, thanks a lot for asking that question and
Yes.
making me admit my deep
Hey,
shames.
I think it's. And let us know if there's anything cute, fun, weird you want to share in the comments.
Yeah.
Please let us know. I'm also wearing a fake ponytail today. That's pretty weird. I got out my fake
That's
$10
not weird.
hair.
That looks so
You
cute.
know,
You're giving
so
me
we're all
totally
having
like
fun.
Ariana Grande vibes with that big pony.
It is. It's a very Ariana-esque.
So, okay, I put on concealer underneath my eyes. I put a little bit on my chin, and I just
Okay.
like use my fingertip just to put just a little bit on my nose. So as you can tell, probably it's like kind of shiny, right? Which is not ideal. So that's where powder comes in. If you use concealer under your eyes and you have problems with it creasing, which I often do, this is going to help stop that from happening. This is also going to help get rid of that shine. Even if it's not shine from concealer, if it's shine just from your natural like oils, especially as we get into warmer months here in California. Summertime shiny. We don't really want that. If we want like that nice matte finish, this will help. And this will also help minimize the appearance of pores and minimize those fine lines by doing this technique. Now, here's the thing about this technique, I will say. You're going to be applying a lot of makeup. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend this for every day because it's not very practical and it is going to go through a lot of your makeup very fast if you were to do this every day. If you want to, more power to you. Go for it. But this might just be something that you want to do like on a special occasion when you want to look extra glowy, extra, matte finish, Instagram worthy face. You know what I'm talking about? So,
Yeah.
okay. let's get started. So I've done the concealer, I've moisturized, all that good stuff. I don't personally, oops, and I'm spilling powder. I forgot I took off the little tray on this one. I don't personally wear foundation, like a liquid foundation or anything like that.
Oh.
And the reason being is that because the cashmere powder for me is the perfect coverage for me. So I just use that instead as my foundation. And actually, we'll be doing that next. But our first step, we're going to let our makeup bake on. So I'm going to start with my violet powder. You can use any of the brightening powders, but as long as it's a translucent brightening powder, and we have lots of options. We have violet, we have vanilla rose, vanilla. Just head to our website, check them out. We actually right now have a little, I think we do. Do we still have the minis, the trio of minis?
Let me check on the mini trio, actually.
I just realized as I started to say that, I'm like, I think we still have that.
Yeah, they're very limited. We kind of
They
have
are
a very limited selection.
Yeah, so if you can get it, I recommend it, because if you haven't tried these powders out yet, then that's a perfect little starter. But otherwise, I would recommend any
it looks
of them.
like there are.
Hey, there you go.
It is still available. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do.
There's not a lot left of them. So
I am going to just apply so heavily right on top of where I just put my concealer. Just like it's going to feel like way too much, and you're going to be like, Jené, what are you doing?
Just before any foundation.
Yep.
And anything. Okay, cool.
Stick it all on there.
Just going to town.
Yep. Just
also,
layer that on.
as you're layering that on, Natalie said she brought loads of snacks after work and 2 tubs of Ben & Jerry's and a tray of donuts. But in her defense, it's her birthday month. Natalie, birthday month or not, and also happy birthday month to you.
Happy birthday month.
I completely understand.
Amber, is it also your birthday month?
It is my birthday month. My birthday is very soon.
When is your birthday?
May friends. Thursday, May 7th. So
happy birthday!
There we go.
Oh my gosh, you thought you were going to get away with that, and I knew your birthday was coming up. Everybody wish Amber a happy birthday in the comments, please. Happy birthday,
That's
Amber.
So
I'm sure this birthday is going to be really strange and different than any other birthday. Unless you typically like spending your birthdays alone. I mean,
yeah, usually I don't leave the house. I wear a mask at all times. No, I'm just teasing. We did have a question. Why using the violet under the eye? Doesn't that add more purple to the already purple there?
Interesting. That's a great question. I find that this one helps color correct under the eye. And you're right, it does it's a good question, like, wouldn't it add more purple? But it doesn't. And I don't really know if I can explain the science behind that. Maybe if you tune in on Thursday to the Q&A with Gabriela, ask Gabriela, because I know that she'll be able to totally answer your question about that. Unless you know, Amber, do you have an idea of why this one works well for this?
Yeah, usually, I mean, because that's why the multiple brightening powders will also work under the eye. But yeah, you're right that usually you wouldn't put a purpley base. You tend to put like a peach kind of color, or sometimes a yellowish color, or even reddish to counteract that. But with the violet powder, it's just barely violet at all. I'm getting some to show you.
Yeah,
it's just barely violet, and
it's all over my shirt.
It's mostly brightening, so it kind of offers the most brightening powder, whereas the others do offer brightening, but they also offer more color correction. Mm-hmm. So with this one, because it offers just the highest level of plain old-fashioned brightness, you know, that's why we often use it. So I'm putting some on my fingertip here. You can't see it the best, but you can see there's a touch of violet to it, but it mostly just gives almost a white-ish effect. Obviously,
and just to compare,
but
I'm going to use my my vanilla rose, which is the more pinky shade, on other areas of my face, so then we can kind of see the difference there. So I'm going to use that on my chin.
You can see here, this is the vanilla rose color, and they're very, very lightly colored, obviously, because we wouldn't want to just be putting on a ton of pink and purple.
Right. They're actually, they are translucent, actually.
Yes, so once they blend in, they blend translucent. But yes, I'll try to find a slightly better answer for you, because I know it is, it's kind of the opposite of all the stuff you hear about under eye but the just adds such a brightening. That's
It is
one of the
super
reasons why.
duper brightening.
But
Yes.
the vanilla rose is also another good option for that because our brightening powder is only available in that mini trio. But we do have the others available.
Yes.
Yeah. And
And
some
then
people
there's
said happy
also,
birthday. That's nice. Oh, and
oh, yay!
Natalie says on the 11th, happy birthday. Okay, sorry.
Hey, so cool. Birthday buddies. Mine's not till next month, so I don't know
Oh,
what
okay.
life will be like on my birthday, but we'll see. It'll
We'll
probably be
see.
much of the same, but that'll be fun. And I'm getting powder on my brand new shirt. So maybe
Oh,
don't wear a brand new shirt when you do this. But
just a
it comes
little
off
tip. That's
pretty well.
okay.
Okay, so now that I look like a crazy person, here's where we let it bake. So I'm just going to let it sit like this while I do the rest of my makeup, and we're going to let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. And the
Okay.
key here is that the powder is kind of like absorbing and mixing into the concealer that I put on, and it's also being warmed up by the warmth of our face, of our skin, and it's just properly setting. We're giving it enough time to set. Again, this is not required for using these products. You don't have to do this. This is just a fun technique that I wanted to show you guys in order to use a lot of our powder. And also, like I said, it really helps give you that like flawless finish look, but you can still totally get that look without doing this. But this is just a fun way to do it for today, for our purposes today. So right now, my clock says it's 1:16. So
Okay.
we'll wait about 5-10 minutes while I do the rest of my makeup. And this is an excellent time to be asking questions of Amber.
Yeah.
And so go for it.
And we have one, Meryl fan was saying she's dying for Cake Mascara Black to come back. And refills are there, but they hope the tin option is back soonish. Yes, it will come back. With everything that's going on, our fulfillment center is an essential business and it can still function and ship things out and fulfill orders because they also fulfill orders for medical facilities and places like that. But a lot of the places that like physically make the makeup are shut down. So we've sold through what we had for black because people have really been going bananas for black cake mascara this year, which is wonderful. So as soon as those places are able to open up again, then we'll be able to have them again. And in California, those locations might be opening up fairly soon. Still a little unclear, but it will be back as soon as we can. As soon as those doors are open, it'll be back on our shelves in a
Absolutely.
week's
And
time.
actually, this is a great time to maybe try a shade you don't already have, like
Yeah.
purple or brown. If you're waiting on black, we do still have the refills, like Amber mentioned. So there's that option. We just don't have the black cake in the tin at this moment. But again, it will be here soon.
It will. Yeah.
As soon as it possibly can be. But I'd recommend trying purple or brown
I mean,
and give that a shot.
purple's very fun. We have a
It is. I'm
whole
going to use it right
video
now,
just on
actually.
purple. If you want to see it, Jené uses it for brows, and last week I used it for eyeshadow. You can even use
That
it.
was so fun.
And for brows, so I'm very, very pale, and my hair is, despite my fake hair, my real hair is blonde. And you can see I'm using it for brows today if you want to see the color. And I'm very pale. And my hair is pretty light, and I can still use the brown for my brows. So it really does match a pretty huge range of
I
tones for
agree.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yay, Natalie has a Best May order coming in. Anita says, happy birthday to everyone affected by quarantine. Absolutely. Natalie, will Merlot come back? Merlot will come back eventually. It's not on our slate in the next couple of months, but it will be back. Sometimes we cycle out of colors just seasonally or just based on new, things that are coming in. So it will be back eventually, but just for right now, that's why it's gone. Also, I wanted to just see if we can see these. I'm going to end up spilling this all over myself as well. So the 3 powders, we have the mini set, which you can buy, or you can get the powders individually. And we have vanilla rose, which is in this tin. You can see it's kind of pinkish. And it's very lightly scented. So if you're sensitive to scents, I really don't think you'd have a problem with it. That one also can be good for under eyes with the pink, using
Also,
to adjust that.
when you say scented, it's important to know it's not fragrance. There's no fragrance in it. There's no like artificial
Right.
fragrancy. It's not perfumey at all. It's all natural. You don't have to worry about any parabens or any harmful ingredients in
No.
any of our products. But it just has a nice, very natural, light, sweet aroma that
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about any harmful chemicals or fragrances or anything like that in it.
Yeah. And it fades very, very fast.
Mm-hmm.
We also have our so this is the I'm trying to show you. This is our just regular vanilla. It looks very yellowish in the tin, but it's translucent. It fades out, but it really does help correct redness. And also, all these can help set your makeup. If you don't have time to do the full baking like Jené is doing right now, you can just pat it over your makeup when you are finished or right before your blush, and blend that out with a regular brush or the puff. Then we also have French vanilla, which is a little bit darker. It has a little bit of a brownish tint to it. And that one is made for medium to darker skin tones. And so, yeah. So if you are not as fair as me, then that's a good option for you. And then quickly with the, people ask, because we don't have the light shade in our cashmere powders right now. But if you want to know what is porcelain like, which we do have in stock, we have all the other colors in stock, by the way. Porcelain is my shade, so that is what I wear. So if you are quite fair, then porcelain is good for you, or you can use it as a highlight if you aren't quite as fair as
That's true. My shade is light, and I sometimes use porcelain as a highlight, and as well. Or sometimes in the winter time, I have it just because when I'm not out in the sun as much, I start to turn a little more porcelain than light. And so I do have that one as well. I actually have a whole bunch of shades because sometimes even with the darker ones, I use them for contouring type techniques, or I even could use it as a bronzer. Or sometimes if you want a really nice, like, matte brown shadow, and that, you want to get a deeper shade than your skin tone for that purpose, they work really well for that too.
Yeah. So if you ever have a question about what shade is best for you, you can email us at info@besamecosmetics.com. You can just send a selfie, just a natural light selfie, and they'll answer lipstick questions, powder questions, anything you want. We had a question about the brightening powders. I'm just trying to get the name. Hallery, do you recommend the brightening powder for any skin tone? Yes, if you are for a deeper skin tone, I do think the French vanilla will be a better match. But for brightening and setting, the other powders really do blend in translucent. So I do think they're a good option for any skin tone. And if you're in the darker ranges, the French vanilla can also help just add just the tiniest bit of coverage. Not much. Kind of contradicted myself, but it just will blend in even all the better.
Yeah, and if you want to, like Amber said, send a picture to get matched with our customer service gals, go for it. But another great thing you can do is check out all the reviews on our website. Check out the product reviews under the different brightening powder shades, and see if sometimes people submit photos, so you can kind of see, oh, they kind of look like me and that's what it would look like on me. Or just read, maybe someone's got a skin type like yours or something like that. So then you can kind of get a better idea.
From Catherine, we had asking if there are any new Disney collections in the works. We do have more Disney things in the works, but we can't talk about them in any more detail than that.
Nope.
That's the end of it, unfortunately.
But the yes or no answer is yes.
Yes, there will. Gabriela loves Disney stuff. Everybody at Bésame loves Disney
We
stuff.
love it.
So there will always be more things. We don't even know the timelines for sure because of everything going on right now, but and we can't give the details until it's time, but we will have more Disney and more specialty
So
collections
get
coming out.
excited. So
Yay!
I just started applying cashmere powder to my forehead, and I hope you can automatically see the difference. I'm just applying, you can apply them wet or dry, but I'm doing it dry. No foundation first, and just moisturized with primer, and already like my forehead just looks like beautiful. I am obsessed with this powder. I use it as my foundation because it is pretty full coverage, but it also feels very light, which I love. So you don't feel like, you've got tons of makeup on when you wear it.
Yeah.
It's really lightweight, which I love. So avoiding the areas where I am baking, I'm going to go ahead and just apply my cashmere powder to the rest of my face.
And you're just using the puff that's included
Yes, little
in
gold
there.
puff. Mm-hmm.
And if if you don't like the puff for any reason, you can also just use a regular powder brush, a face slightly larger kind of fluffy brush. That's totally fine too.
Yes.
Sarah asked that she got the trio and was surprised because the ingredient list does say fragrance listed. Yes, since the fragrances are natural, so they are just because there are teensy, teensy, tiny particles of actual vanilla or actual rose or actual violet in there. But because there is a scent to it, and because that's in there, it does need to be listed. So it's not an artificial fragrance, but if somebody absolutely can have no fragrance in their products, we need to list that just in case so people aren't caught off guard. So that's what it means. And there is that little fragrance there, but it's just not from artificial sources. So I hope you like them, Sarah. And let us know what you think at any time. And you can also see if you want more reviews and things like that from people about our powders, or actually about a lot of our stuff, you can go to our blog at besamecosmetics.com. You'll see the blog just up in the corner. And we have a bunch of things where there are details of people's stories about our products. We had one where a lady talked about how she bought her lipstick and then immediately it like fell out of her bag and got run over by a truck. But she got it off the street and it was still totally intact. So you can see stories like that, or fun facts. We have stuff about old products that seem new, or fun facts about things like that. So check that out if you're interested in more information.
So,
Yay.
the next step I just did was I used a different cashmere powder. This one for me is the shade Dark. And I just used it for a very light contouring. I just did under the cheekbones and I did underneath my chin. That's all I did.
Oh.
How long has it been? Oh, it's been like exactly 10 minutes.
Yes.
And I did the rest of my makeup minus lipstick, but we'll save that best for last. So now I'm going to just brush it away lightly. And I'm going to be using the Bésame long hair finishing brush, which I love. This brush is like the most luxurious thing I've ever had. And I'm just going to lightly brush it away, but you could use any fluffy brush if you like, but definitely use a brush, not a like puff or a beauty blender, because that would defeat the purpose.
Right. So you want something with a lot of fluff to it there. And you're just brushing it away gently.
While
Cool.
kind of blending at the same time. I put on just a teeny tiny bit of cream rouge just to the apple of my cheeks, and I will probably go back and do more, but I didn't want to interfere with the powder at the moment.
Right.
Are you starting to see how this is going? Seeing how it's
Yes, you can start to see how it
I'm
all
so
comes
bright.
together.
My under eyes are so lovely.
And it is nice. I'll just I don't wear a lot of powder on my face because my skin's really dry, but my under eyes will just crease. They just like to really misbehave. So I will often put a little bit of the violet or the rose brightening powder under my eyes just to help that makeup stay in place. And that can also help. I know we had questions in other videos of people kind of getting like raccoon eyes, which I've certainly had, and a little bit of powder under the eyes. Even if you don't wear concealer necessarily, that can help keep some of that smearing and transferring from happening. Catherine said she loves the Crimson Cream Blush. It is her favorite and gets so many compliments. Oh,
Crimson's
so
what I'm
cool.
wearing today. That's
Yay.
what I'm doing.
I really enjoy the cream blushes as well because just blend in. And
And
this is a cool thing to see.
yeah, and
All of
also,
this.
you know, if you are like, oh, I don't know if I can wear a cream base on top of a powder base, well, I just put on so much powder and I'm putting the cream right on top and it's not doing anything weird. It looks totally natural and it blends just all the same. So let that show you the proof right there. Cool. So now I've got like this super bright, glowy, like under eye. It's really, I think, probably bringing out like this, you know, these parts of my face that you would already want to highlight anyway.
Yeah.
And I used pretty much everything. The only thing I didn't use yet was my vanilla brightening powder. And I'm just going to do that over my whole face now, just lightly, just as a light finish to brighten everything. And again, it's translucent, so it shouldn't really change, you know, it shouldn't add any color or anything like that. It's just going to brighten and set even more. And what I love about this is the vanilla scent. And I know it's so cheesy, but my husband also really loves how this smells. And whenever I wear it and he kisses me on the cheek, he says it smells like cookies. So I think that's really cute. It does kind of smell like cookies. So even just for yourself, if you want to smell the smell of fresh cookies all day long, do it. Do it.
Anita asked, would a wide kabuki brush work for blending the powders?
Oh, totally.
And
Totally.
absolutely.
That's a great one.
A wider brush would be better than, you know, a more compact kind of travel blush brush or something like that. Anything will really work. But yeah, a wider one, absolutely. Perfectly fine to do.
Oh, lovely. And then my final step, of course, is applying my lipstick. And today I'm going to wear, anybody guess? Can you tell? It's Chocolate Kiss.
Yay!
It's Chocolate Kiss. One of my favorites. If you've watched us before, you know how much I love Chocolate Kiss. I love, love, love this color.
Let's see. Oh, what do you recommend for cleaning the puffs? Are you putting it over cream? Would there be residual discoloration? Excellent, Sarah. For cleaning the puffs, it's best to, instead of like putting them straight under the faucet like you would your brushes, take a damp cloth and wipe them off. So you can still wipe them down very much with soap and water, just, you know, regular soap and a little bit of warm water on the cloth, and then wipe it through. If you can have a place where you can let it dry, where the puff is facing down. So if you have like, you know, they'll have little grates, you can sometimes put soap on so it's not sitting right on the flat surface. If you have something like that, putting it face down is ideal, just so that any of the moisture doesn't get into the, you know, the connective material between the backing and the puff itself. But even if you have to, you know, just have it dry face up, that's totally okay, as long as you just don't soak it completely with water. But that way we'll still get rid of the excess makeup and clean it from germs and everything, which we're much more careful about, or I am more careful about nowadays. And then putting the powder over cream, would there be residual discoloration? If you're putting it over like really wet cream, there might be, but when you're putting it just over, you know, like a liquid foundation or, you know, something like that, then no. And also, if there's a touch, you know, sometimes you put a little too much on, I do, of the vanilla powder, and you might see a little bit of yellow. And as long as you just keep blending with any kind of brush like that, then it will blend in completely and become translucent. So I would say no. And today, Jené did put the violet powder over concealer, cream concealer.
I did.
And you can see that it just gives it that brightening effect without trapping any of that color.
It's true. And my puff, I mean, I've had this one for a long time with my violet. So there is a little bit of discoloration, but it doesn't transfer. So that's fine. And as long as you know, wash it routinely. And like, I just set mine like where the window hits it so that it can kind of like dry that way naturally. But then on a more newer one, like the one that I just did with the vanilla all over my face, it's not so much. This one, you know, not so much. So no, it doesn't really transfer. It doesn't really, you don't have to worry about that. And you certainly don't have to worry about the discoloration happening on your face. So that's good.
Yeah. Natalie said, at first I was worried when I was reading this, but Natalie said she had a Mean Girls moment the other day because in one of the last videos you wore Chocolate Kiss, Jené, and so she bought Chocolate Kiss. I was scared someone was like making fun of her for Chocolate Kiss, but no. You're just like, you made fetch happen.
Oh my gosh,
You made
that's
it.
great. Yes, join the Chocolate Kiss
It's a
fan club
really
with me. I love this
cool color.
Please, it's so good. I think it's so underrated because it's
Yes.
not like a bright red, so people are like, oh, do I want it? You want it. It's great. It's a great everyday color. Look at this. Look at this. I love Chocolate Kiss. Join the Chocolate Kiss fan club.
Yes, the Chocolate Kiss fan club. It's there. It's ready to go.
Oh man.
Smells delicious, is delicious. I'm wearing Portrait Pink today, if you're curious. It's kind of good to see because you might think it's 60s color is going to be more like frosty. And you can see that it's a very neutral, pretty color. So
It's super pretty on you, Amber. I love it.
oh, thanks. So it's a much more versatile color than you might think from, hearing it's a 60s shade. Cool. And then let's see. I've seen, oh, okay. Sarah said, thank you for your explanations. Thank you. That's very nice. And then great. Oh, Elise said, this is both of our best makeup looks since the series started. Thank you, Elise. That's very sweet of you.
Thank you.
And I have painted on lower lashes, so I'm very pleased to hear that.
Is that your reveal, Amber?
Oh, I guess that's I'm using I just paint, they are just painted on with black cake mascara, just painted on lower lashes.
You already have big, beautiful eyes, but I feel like that just makes them look even more like poppy. So
very
cute.
Fun.
Very twiggy.
Oh, I will say a fun powder thing, if you wear glasses, wearing a little bit of powder right where the glasses hit your nose tends to make them slip down a little bit less, and then lessens a little bit the kind of red dots you'll get. You might still get them. I still get them. But that can be a good thing for powder too, for the ladies who wear glasses out there.
Yeah, great tip.
Wonderful. Thank you guys. You have been so sweet and lovely once again. And I like that even though this was kind of the slow makeup, Jené, it still really didn't take that long. You managed to get everything done.
That's the thing. If you prioritize your time and you let it bake while you do the rest of your face, then it just goes all according to plan. Do we have anything for the people watching today, Amber?
Yes, we do. Woo-hoo. So what you can do, to get any of the powders or Chocolate Kiss for 15% off, you can use the code Tuesday15. So it's Tuesday15 with a capital T. That'll be good until tomorrow around 3 p.m. And the powders are already, all of them on sale. So you get an extra bonus. It's a good time to get them for sure. Before they run out. So that's an excellent discount to use if you want to try these powders out. A lovely, lovely time to try them out if they're new to you, or if you wanted to try something a little bit different, or if you just wanted to get Chocolate Kiss. Because
do it.
It's great. Either one. So thank you guys so much again for joining us. We'll be back next Tuesday with another tutorial. If you ever have suggestions for tutorials, you can put them in the comments here in YouTube. You can put them on Instagram. You can DM us at Bésame Cosmetics, or send us an email, send your selfies and everything to info@besamecosmetics.com. We definitely want to hear what you think, or if you have anything you're dying to see tutorial-wise. Thank you again for all of your patience with our home studios and our crazy little fun we have. And yes, have a very lovely and wonderful day, and we will see you next time. Bye.
See you next week.